Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 7. This was the mid-season finale of Season 6. Remember, it was a little bit short this season because they had to stop filming around this time. So because of that, Episode 7 is the mid-season finale. Episode 7, though, the mid-season finale was still a pretty good episode, and we're going to get into it in the review, obviously. Before I do get into it, though, I want to give a spoiler warning in case you haven't seen the episode or you aren't caught up with Fear the Walking Dead. And then also, if you are a fan of the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more content. But other than that, let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, Episode 7, it was still a good episode. I mean, it wasn't the best of the season or anything like that, but it was still good. It kind of had a mid-season finale vibe to it. I don't know if that was done on purpose because they edited it or something. Well, I don't think so because they write the episodes individually and then they film them. But it did have a bit of a mid-season finale vibe to it, which is interesting. I mean, episode 7s aren't usually mid-season finale. And what I mean by that is because we had the Morgan and Alicia reunion, and then also we got the Grace reveal at the end. So we did have some big stuff in this episode for sure. But on the same strength, it did have an episode 7 feel to it because episode 7s, I think usually on The Walking Dead, they're a bit of a setup episode. And you kind of got that feel too watching this. And I think this episode made me really excited for the premiere because, yeah, we're going to talk about the reunion and the Grace reveal at the end. But let's go ahead and talk about what happened in the episode chronologically. So we saw that we saw that somebody ambushed the group on the road, and then Dakota went missing. So Strand got Charlie and Alicia to go look for Dakota, and it happened pretty quickly. And once again, I've been saying this, it's been a little theory of mine throughout the season. I've said it in a couple episodes, but it's really been going on the entire season. And one of the reasons why I think these episodes have been a lot better than they used to be is because they're really moving along in these episodes. There's no waiting around in any useless scenes or anything like that. They're just really moving along plot-wise, and it really works. Like within 10-15 minutes into the episode, not even that long, it was probably shorter than that. Strand got Alicia and Charlie to go look for Dakota, and they ran into that guy in the building who was messing with the walkers. So things are happening pretty quickly, which I think definitely helps the pacing of the episodes. Because I will say also that these episodes are flying by, so that kind of shows that the pacing has been pretty good. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about that guy that they ran into, who was messing with the walkers. It did take a turn. I wasn't expecting him to be as friendly as he was or anything like that. You know, the setting took a big turn. I thought it was going to be something a bit more sinister, and then they're playing chess. So I don't know how I really feel about that part. I wish, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I wish there was more with him. I will say that I thought the walkers were kind of amazing. Like the design of the walkers were really good. They looked super creepy, and I thought they did a great job behind the scenes with that stuff because 10 years into the show and they still somehow managed to come up with really unique looking walkers, and I will always admire that. I think they do a great job with that. I did think they did a great job with the way they took him out because, I don't know, I guess it was like poetic in a way, you know, because it was his creation that took him out, those walkers that did. So I thought that was pretty good. And then Charlie was the next thing I wanted to talk about because I thought she had some good moments in this episode as well. And you know, she was helping out the group and, you know, coming in clutch at times. And I like that whole I like the whole like mystery part of it, or like the suspense part of the episode where, you know, they were in this house, and I kind of wish they did more with that, with Charlie trying to hide from him or something, you know, like I wish I just felt like there could have been more there because I did like that suspense feeling of them in this big house you know, in the dark with this complete stranger. It's nighttime, there's walkers all around them, so there's definitely like a suspense feel to it that I wish they could have played more with. But he also knew who Virginia was. That kind of shows you like how many people know Virginia, because literally every stranger that we have seen on this show, you know, from episode 1, Isaac, his wife, the people with the masks, the end is the beginning people, you know, the guy from this episode, like they all know Virginia, which really makes you think like, how big is Virginia's group? Like seriously, you know, like, and what's her role in all of this in terms of the bigger picture of the universe? Like, I think the CRM might even know her. I mean, the CRM kind of knows everybody, right? Like if the CRM is familiar with, you know, the people back in the Alexandria area, I'm sure they would be familiar with Virginia because she seems like even bigger than the Saviors. Like she has so many people, or like so many different communities And I think the guy even in the episode said like described it as a franchise, so it kind of shows you like how big her communities really are. And then we had Morgan come through and save the day once again. Morgan has been doing that all season long, so I swear it's kind of funny. But yeah, we saw Morgan come through and save everyone. I liked his reunion with Alicia. I thought that was really good. Like, I totally forgot, like it's been like, because it's an anthology, like I keep forgetting that some of these characters have not even seen Morgan yet at all. Like Alicia and Strand, like none of these guys have seen Morgan. They didn't even know Morgan was alive. And honestly, it is kind of shocking that he did survive that situation. And I want to talk a little bit, I'll probably talk about it in a separate video because this could just go on forever, but I do want to talk about like, who do you guys think is the person who saved Morgan? Because he's still trying to figure that out. Was it, I mean, I know a popular theory was Madison, which we'll discuss a little bit in this video. We'll discuss it now actually, because Madison was like a big rumor that she was going to be in this episode or like a return, but that obviously didn't happen. I mean, we got mention of the stadium and then the 3 clicks on the radio, which was like a Madison's idea. So like there was definitely hints towards Madison in the episode, but there was no actual Madison. So I don't know if they're planning a Madison return. Honestly, if Madison returns this season, that would be kind of amazing because this season is already really good. And can you imagine throwing Madison back in there? Like how good that would be. Well, I shouldn't say that because it really depends on the story. I shouldn't just say like if you just bring Madison back, it's perfect because I mean right now the show is really good, right? Same thing with Rick on The Walking Dead. Like Rick left the show, but the show is still good. So I shouldn't say like if you bring it back, the show will be better. But I think it definitely will be cool to see Madison return for sure. And you guys let me know, what do you think about that? And who do you think saved Morgan? But yeah, anyways, going back to the episode, then we saw Strand, and then they had that standoff with their weapons. And let me just say, I absolutely love that standoff. They're going full Western with this season for sure. I mean, they even have like, you know, the standoffs that all the Western movies have. And the thing I loved about the standoff was that it didn't feel forced at all. Like, yeah, a lot of Western movies have standoffs, but it's not like they just threw it in there. Like they really worked towards that moment in the show with all the characters. So when it happened, I kind of had a smile on my face. It's like, oh, well, wow, this is like kind of amazing. So I think they're doing a great job writing this season. So I'm liking how the group is getting bigger, and you know they're reuniting and they're getting stronger. But I'm still interested in seeing how they're gonna fight back against Virginia I'm interested in seeing how Virginia's storyline is going to end, because is she going to join Morgan's side? Is Morgan going to convince her or what? Because I mean she still definitely outnumbers everybody, you know, because her group is ginormous, but there's still a lot to happen and there's still a lot of questions to be answered, and that kind of makes me think like the second half of this season is probably gonna be pretty good as well, which I'm excited for. And then lastly there, at the end, when Strand went back to Virginia, we saw that she had Grace captured this entire time, which was kind of insane. I mean, I really thought it was going to be Madison there for a second at the end, because that was like all the rumors, but it wasn't Madison, it was Grace. But I'm still like, it was really cool seeing Grace, and I'm excited for this because I've been questioning and wondering like what happened to Grace. And I did like Morgan and Grace relationship. I thought it was really nice, and you know, Morgan being a character we've had since the beginning, it's really nice seeing him have someone like that. So really excited to see how this plays out. I'm assuming they're gonna end up reuniting somehow, but it's kind of crazy to think about that she's just been in that room this entire time. And then we have Strand there at the end, who, I mean, Strand is probably extremely stressed out right now because we had Virginia yelling at him to get everyone back to her, but he also wants to help his friend. So interested in seeing how this is going to play out for Strand. But man, they have done a great job with Strand this season, and they've done a great job all around. And you know, so far this has been a really good season, and definitely one of the best halves of Fear the Walking Dead in a long time. I mean, you might even say that it's probably one of the best halves of Fear the Walking Dead ever. I think they completely turned this show around, and it's been amazing in terms of story, character, but also like what we're seeing in the episodes in terms of like action and intensity and suspense. Just really well directed episodes. I will say that my biggest complaint is I do wish they used other characters more, because there were some characters who we saw a lot of, like a lot of. But then there were some characters who we barely saw any of them. Like we didn't see much of June or Luciana or Wendell or Sarah. And I wish we got to see some of those characters some more, but hopefully in the second half. But yeah, overall, pretty good episode and really good season so far. You guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the episode and what do you think about the season so far. I am going to wrap it up there. So again, let me know all your thoughts and opinions and theories, and what do you think is going to happen in the second half of the season, and what do you want to happen in the second half of the season. But again, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and for more Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.